Hello everyone and welcome to 27, to a really rainy, grey winter's day in the UK. And look at this ray of sunshine just here. I know I always get excited about certain cars, but this one I am super excited about. This is the Honda NSX. This is the car that really spanked Ferrari into shape. I'm actually really impressed by the looks of the NSX. It's up against one of the prettiest cars of all time in my view. The 355 is definitely one of my favourites. But this NSX in this colour as well, I think it's quite hard to better really. Now I know you don't always agree with my sort of definitions of what saved Ferrari, what saved Porsche. That video was a little bit controversial, but really it is absolutely true that when this came out, it really woke Ferrari up. At the time, Ferrari had the 348, and it wasn't really received as a fantastic car. It was okay, the engine was nice, but you know, it wasn't a well thought out package. The NSX came out, and not only was it amazing, incredible engine, aluminium construction, went incredibly well, but it was just usable day to day. It really had to wake Ferrari up. Now, ideally, I would do a test between this and a 348, but this is just my hobby. This is not my full-time job. I don't have access to a 348. So it's a real chore, but I'm going to have to drive the 355 again. I've driven this car once already. I really loved it. I'm sure I will really love it again. This has a lot to live up to. I think it's going to be a much less shouty car in general. Colour aside, they're supposed to be a bit more toned down compared to the really shouty Ferrari in terms of engine noise, in terms of the quickness of the steering and everything else. But the only way is to take them both out and see how they compare. So let's go. There's worse places to be than in a 355. So you sit down low. It's actually quite comfortable, arms stretched. It might be adjustable here, but I don't want to change all the settings for Paul. The gear change is just lovely. It's crisp, it's light, there's precision in it. If anything, it could maybe do with being just very slightly shorter, but there really isn't that much in it. It is very good. The clutch is actually fairly light, which you wouldn't expect in a Ferrari. Steering is light. It's not lightning fast, but it feels pretty well judged to me though. I don't know if you'd want it any faster than it is already. Although it's light, you do get enough feel through. It's quite a well judged car. Now it's a bit of a greasy day out there, so I'm going to be really quite cautious. This is somebody else's cherished car. And the last thing I want to do is chuck it in the side of a hedge or something like that. Feel the engine. Oh, come on! What the fuck? Let's see if we make it through this time. Jesus, what a pain. Sorry, filming isn't going that well today. I keep on getting traffic on this on the exterior shots. People getting in the way. Sometimes living in this country is just a pain in the arse. So many rules and regulations for everything. There's so much traffic everywhere. Rant over. I am after all in a Ferrari. Really addictive, that engine. It builds up power in a really linear way, but it really sort of goes towards the red line. It feels quite relentless. It's not super fast, very responsive. the roof down, it does sound a hell of a lot better than with the roof up. It takes some of the excitement away. Now, I've read that these handle brilliantly up to the limit, but if you drive them at 10/10, they can let go quite suddenly, so I'm aware of that. It's alive, it's moving, it's communicating. Oh, that top end! I'm sorry guys, I don't know you like to see me gurning like that, but I can't help myself. It's a special car. All my frustrations from earlier on from filming, they've just gone after this really brief little drive. It's relaxed me, it's made me feel better, it's made me feel happier. The ride is pretty good. Where you're sitting, it's quite comfortable. The steering is not heavy. Gear change is light and easy to use. Right, another childhood dream. I am in a Honda NSX. First impressions, feels more solid than the Ferrari. That's not that surprising for two reasons. The Ferrari is a T-top. This is a coupe. So it's going to feel a bit more together, but the interior kind of feels like it's better screwed together as well. It's got these lovely Recaros. They're quite similar to pole positions, but they feel like they're more padded, and at the backs they've got the spider frame as well, which is the same as the 964 RS has, which is quite interesting. Love this colour scheme. I love the colour of this car. It's probably my favourite. The gear change is a tad shorter than the Ferrari, which is nice. I don't know which I'd pick over the two. Possibly, I don't know. I don't know. They're both good. They're both really good. This might just pip it actually. The steering to me feels like it's slower than on the 355, but it's got a little bit more weight to it. Wow. This is a Type S, so it has the Recaro seats, it's got stiffer suspension. It's got a couple of other little bits. I'd say the NSX has a little bit more low down torque than the 355. I love the way that engine sounds. It's a 6. It's not an 8. So it's different to the 355. And up top it's maybe not quite as orally, unbelievably exciting, but it is a fantastic sounding engine all the same. Throttle travel is much shorter on the NSX. The Ferrari, despite having a longer throttle travel, actually seems to be more responsive. In terms of outright speed, I don't know if there's really actually that much in it. This has less power, I guess maybe it's lighter. Got to be one of the best 6-cylinder engines of all time. It feels really mechanical, more so than the Ferrari in some ways. I don't know if the engine's just more rigid mounted. Oh, if I had to buy an NSX, this is exactly what I would buy.
a Type S in this. I think it's called, is it a lava orange, something along those lines. Perfect colour, 6-speed, 3.2 engine, without the cowl headlights, with the pop-ups. It's been a really short run, too short. I'd love to spend more time with both cars, but at the moment, the NSX feels like, I can't believe I'm saying this, it feels like the bred a driver's car. There's more drama in the Ferrari, sure. That engine is just something else, but this V6 is equally, it's equally as good. In terms of power, there's not much in it between the two in terms of speed. And this just feels more serious. I don't know, maybe with a proper hard top, with a proper coupe 355, it would be a bit different because some of that solidity would come back. But the NSX is quite a car. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please comment. Please share the video if you can. It really helps. I'm trying to grow the channel. Thank you very much and see you for the next one.